Good morning, or actually, what am I saying? It's good afternoon. Good Sunday, everyone. Welcome. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Welcome aboard, folks. Hope y'all are enjoying your weekend, and I hope you spend a little time with us. We are going to do a little GA flying today, a little Piper Arrow action from V Flight Air and the Piper uh, PA28R. Boom, there's a lot for me to say in 1 second. Wow. The Arrow 3, it's probably, I'll have to say, of all the aircraft I flew way back when, uh, up to my private pilots and then after, you're looking at probably one of two that I really liked. This plane, I don't know what it is about the Arrow, but I just love it. And then uh, the funny thing is, the bigger version, the Cherokee 6, some know as the Lance Saratoga. Lance had the retractable gear, Saratoga fixed. Sit six and could carry six. A lot of aircraft sit four but can't carry them plus luggage. That aircraft, because of the way the weight and balance was set up in the Cherokee 6, could. Very, if not five for sure, and their luggage. So it just amazing. But this aircraft I've just always loved. I love the complex part of it, the constant speed prop. Basically, what that means, folks, is the propeller blades you can manipulate in the cockpit to get a better speed out of it. It kind of takes it out of the wind. Instead of being flat, you're turning it so you're getting a little more aerodynamic. And the retractable gear, just loved it. So that's what we're going to fly today, folks. So I hope you enjoy. I don't know if we actually picked up from Cuba, Missouri. When we flew it there, we went through some icing. We went through, I mean, we had so much trouble with it that day. Amazing flying with Mike made it to Cuba, Missouri. But since then, I've flown it on to here, and now we're gonna go. We're gonna see how many people know about a little town in Arkansas called Mena. If not, Google it. About the 1990s. And by the way, you might have saw a movie about it. So anyway, we're not going to get into it. I've had requests, stay away from politics. Oh, do I want to jump on it so badly? People go, what? Yeah, we're going to leave it there, folks. You can do your own research, make your own minds up. We are the real Fox News here. We just put out there, you decide. Oh, that's more like CNN. They put out and tell you how to decide. Oh, okay, so I am a little different. Anyway, that's as close to politics tonight as we'll get. It's Sunday, folks, so I hope y'all are having fun. And I'll be honest, I hope y'all join me. I mean, folks, I'm going to be coming up here on VATSIM, and we're going to fly probably VFR. A little nervous. We'll get into that here in the brief. Matter of fact, I am just what the heck happened here? Did I? Oh, I know what I did. I'm trying. What the heck did I do? I hit the wrong button. You gotta love it. There we go. All right. So, and I will be under a call sign, which will be weird to you because it's not what I technically should be under. Should be the tail number of the aircraft. I'm going to be under what I used to fly it under. Well, actually, the Piper Archer, I believe, had the 8229 pop up. So I think it was Yankee that was the Arrow. And folks, mind you, that's about 35 to 40 years of memory. So if I miss a letter, That is not bad. I do know the November 8229 parts right. I just can't remember the last letter, the letter. All right, so folks, those of you dropping in here, those of you following, I see you've gone to a commercial break. Got you for about another 50 seconds hiding there. Those of you who subscribe, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and would really love to hear from the subscribers, from those once we get them back here to help. Uh, Make the stream a little better, bring in some things, maybe do some things. I know I don't fly these aircraft very often. And I don't really know why. I guess my dream of flying the airliners is what draws me more and more to the sim. But going back to the roots is never a bad thing. So just getting myself up here on my computer so I can make sure everything's going well. Welcome back, those of you who pop in, lurk a little bit, pop out. Hey, we love you. Followers, oh, thank God for you, and subscribers. What I was just telling the subscribers while we were in break, and for those of you curious, subscribing, if you haven't figured it out, gives you ad-free viewing. So it's your call. I am not going to push it down anyone's throat. You got to make that call on your own. So, just putting that out there for you. If you do miss something while we're at break that you really needed to know, or you're just, that's what I wanted to know about this plane to figure out why it won't work. YouTube's your answer, folks. I try to put every one of these up. It's only been one here in the last year of 24 that didn't make it, and that was the TWA flight from New Orleans to St. Louis. And that's because the St. Louis scenery just went somewhere. I have no idea where. So I decided we'll just kind of try it again here in another few weeks. All right. So, but anyway, folks, if you have any ideas, anything at all to help build the stream, help to make it a more enjoyable place, hey, you can leave a comment on YouTube, leave a comment here, or join us over in our Discord. I've got the invite for you. All right, enough of all of that. Let's get to the work at hand, folks. Like I said, we're flying from what's called Harrison, Arkansas. It's actually Boone County Airport down to, and I kind of like the name of this, but again, if you haven't done your homework, folks, do it. Mena, Arkansas. It's actually called Mena Intermountain Airport. Has nothing to do with your investigation. Um, but anyway, that's where we're headed. And if time permits, maybe we'll push a little east over to Hot Springs. We'll see. Not promising anything. We got to get the bird in the air first. So let's quickly go through our flight today. Today's flight, two people, uh, cargo 110 pounds. Of that is 50. And we're going to basically fly. I'm going to hope for a VFR flight. From Harrison via the Victor 289 to BATEZ and then in. Basically, what that's going to do, folks, is take us from here. We're going to join the airway, fly down to Fort Smith, fly down to BATEZ, and then begin looking for our runway. Right now, as you can tell on the flight plans, we're planning to take off to the south, land to the west. See how the weather is in just a second. 6,000 feet. Okay, so this is planned IFR after Fort Smith down to 5. So basically, if we fly VFR, add 500 feet. So it'll be 6,500 feet, 5,500 feet. That's how they separate us from IFR and VFR traffic. They put 500 feet between us, hoping we still won't hit each other. Okay, so the payload brings us 460 pounds into the plane, bringing us up to 2222 on the zero fuel weight. You're all going, boy, that's a light airplane. Yeah, well, it is a Piper Arrow. We're going to uplift 190 pounds of fuel, which is, well, we'll do the math, but I think we've already got it, but I'm going to just do it right now. 190, not times, 190 divided by 6.7. Well, they do 190 divided by 6. 31 gallons minimum to fly this route. We'll probably at least have 50 gallons, so we'll be safe. All right. Cruise percentage 75%. And I'll be honest, folks, the charts for the performance, I can't find any. I've even looked in the POH they provide, the pilot operating handbook. So we're going to guesstimate it. All right. Promise the weather here, 110 at 7. So, yeah. Well, I think all we have are north-south. But anyway, 180 would be a good choice. Got a few clouds at 4,000. And excuse me for the yawn, folks. I do apologize. 28 degrees outside, so make sure you put your parkas on. Oh, wait, that's Celsius. Sorry, that's actually 82 degrees. You look kind of funny in a parka. 10 degrees, Statuettes. Over there in Mena, who has found anything out about Mena? We're looking at a calm wind. Hopefully not a calm before the storm that we see lurking. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm being silly here, folks. Doggone it, y'all aren't seeing any of this. All right, there we go. There's what we're worried about. That's what I'm talking about. Calm but before the storm. Mina's about right here. So there's our winds and weather up here for Harrison. Mina's right here. Like I said, calm wind, 29 degrees, and I mean, overall should be a beautiful day. We'll see if this is going to cause us trouble. And then real quick, show you the payload since that loose nut behind the wheel couldn't figure out what screen he was on. All right, and like I said, we're going to probably put on about 50 gallons of fuel, so that block fuel will go up. All right, and I don't think I did yet. I thought I had, but obviously I am misquoted again. Okay, VFR P28R looks good. Just looking through our times, I think we can make them. B2 nav, we'll leave it empty. And the operator, well, we'll just go with what we got. Boom. All right, so we've got our VFR flight plan in the hopper. We're going to go ahead, connect, and hang on. Let me do that and that. All right, so November 8229er Papa. Double check that is what I used. Yeah, Papa. Okay. And it's a P28R ArrowIII. I don't know what Chenchol means. I have no idea, but we're going to do that. And we're coming up online. I have no idea where we'll be. So join us, folks. Like I said, we're going to do this on VATSIM. We're going to try to stick VFR, hoping we don't go IFR. That right there kind of worried me. It wasn't there when we started all of this fun. Let me just see if anything's popping here on Sky Vector. Harrison. Fort Smith. There's Fort Smith. Oh, yeah, there is a little. So we may have to kind of zigzag. We'll see. We'll kind of work at that store. It's not far away. Those familiar, it's approaching Muskogee right now. Stigler and in it right now is McAllister. So if you're familiar with that area, and there's a little blow up right south of Fort Smith that we may have to dodge. That would be the blob you saw just where we turn. Okay, so let's get in here. Let's first close up everything. Close. And they kind of make it easy, folks. All you got to do is that and that, and you're set. You can set your information up down here. I said we're going for 25, so there's 50 gallons. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, welcome to the Piper Arrow 3, folks. We're not going to get into a lot here because I want to get it into the air. It does take, folks, we're not flying at 400 mile an hour to go a whole whopping, where is my sim brief up here? Ah, I didn't start it. Shameful. Okay, there it is. And hang on, I'm bringing it. I am going to get my V speeds. No, I'm just kidding, folks. Um, Funny thing, when I started um, Sim Brief today, I got a message. Hey, the performance stuff's out. Yeah, we've been playing with it all week. All right, let's get our flight plan up here. All right, total flight mileage today is 142 miles. If we're set properly and everything, we should be able to do it in an hour. Okay, just letting you know. And then hopefully move on to our hopeful hot springs. It's also, and that's actually not a long flight. So here we go. I am going to first set up my avionics. Actually, we can do that once we get things moving here. All right. One thing I kind of like, I kind of don't about this aircraft. I love this. This is a great build up your plane, all of that. There's no the checklist, by the way, they have looks phenomenal. I just brought it up on the screen. You should be able to see it. Hang on, let me just get rid of the other. Um, Problem is, and it's just me. Uh, I don't think I really need to dig have vFlyte on this. I wish it was a separate item. Why? Very simple, folks. Once we get into doing things, it would be nice to have it like to be able to go to my av tab or to be like a sizable window down here in this portion. If I'm on a single monitor, God forbid if you have two or three monitors and you could go blink over to the other monitor. So that's just my take on it. Okay. Checklist wise, it's pretty doggone good. Now, you could pull the pilot handbook up and go through it. Very challenging sometimes to have that book open in your lap going through it. Usually you have a nice, you know, formatted checklist. All right, so basically though, it's set up really nice pre-flight, engine start, takeoff, climb to a point again, and then cruise and approach. Here it says set 75%. I would love to have seen one more tab for that. So hang on a second. Where it was supposed to be, and let's see if it came back. It did not. Was right up here in the sun visor. With the updates that have come down, folks, I have lost the sun visor, and I guess I got to go in, update it, and hope it comes back. So we'll see. But we're just going to go. Like I said, we're going to do the best we can to get 75% out of it. All right. Now, the reason I have this up here, and folks, you can help me out, would be really appreciated. Hang on a second. How do I get ATC to come through my OBS now? Because what happens is if I take that off, you guys lose ATC. Do I need to well, it is locked. So I'm kind of really torn here as to what I need to do. Properties, yeah, I don't know how to get around this. So pardon that being an eyesore on the screen. Okay. All right. Enough said. Let's go. If I don't say much, folks, it's because we're pushing through here to get it going. Um, all right. Just got to get a screen here, and I'm just kind of got myself how I want to proceed. All right. What I'm going to do is go ahead, fire the aircraft up, and then we'll set our radios, okay? I think that's a little different. I'm going to look at the checklist. Uh, yeah, it's not in the checklist. And again, these are things you'll have to come up with on your own. All right, so let's get her going. Let's get the master switch on. You know what? I'm going to bring that up. All right, so what we're doing here, folks, let me get rid of this. We're gonna again see what I mean, how this is a little, yeah, a little cumbersome. So before stake, brake, circuit breakers, alternate air off, prop, avionics off, and that. Okay, great. So we'll then start up, throttle about a ½ inch open, alternator and battery switches on. Used to be called master switch. They were, I guess, separated, but I've never seen them like this. Electric fuel pump on, rich, thin idle cutoff. This does not work for me to start the airplane. Clear prop, start it, and go. Okay. The only thing missing is the after start checklist. I've got a great start when hot, start when flooded, from an external power source, but just a warm up. Okay, so there you go, folks. Now remember, I have the battery switch on. So if you don't mind, I'm going to come down. And by the way, clicking right there gets rid of them, or the Y key. Nav lights, rotating beacon. Okay, so there's your prop full. Give me a ½ inch, about like that. Okay. Oh, wait. You know what I forgot to do? Fuel pump. I'm just going to leave it, if you don't mind, folks. The way I know how to get this thing to... I forgot to unmute. Oh. All right. We want to warm up at around 14 to 1500, so we'll back it off a little. Let's go ahead and turn the fuel pump off right now. Avionics on. Okay. Autopilot's on, and our illustrious E1000 PFD. I know some of you just love it when you hear these specific letters of it. I just call it my primary flight display in HSI. I know, boring. Boring. Hang on, we're going to size this. another thing I don't... Come on, give me what I want here. There we go. All right, now some people will stick it right back there. I'm just going to keep it off to here. Let's get it set up for the flight, though. There's two 430s in this thing. X-Plane 430s. They're actually Garmin 430s. Again, I know some of you have to hear the actual words. All right, get our CTAF real quick. KHRO 123. All right. Now, again, we're in VAT USA territory, folks. We're in the United States. So, we are on common traffic here. All right, we'll get BORs in a minute. All right, let's get our flight plan in there. You guessed it. Maybe. Oh, you booger. I don't... There we go. Like, I'm moving the wrong one. Oh, geez, hang on. At least I'm not far off. Oh, I think I'm going back to bed. All right, so we got our flight plan loaded. Basically, folks, I just took it, saved it, and put it in here to make this an easier run. All right, so the flight plan's loaded. Oh, wait, I want to push there. There we go. Now we can scroll down. Then there's Bates, and there's our arrival. Okay. All right. And it will show up when we do this and this. So basically, we are facing to the west. So to do a 180, we're going to have to taxi north to take off south. And then what we'll do is we'll hook ourselves over. So basically what we'll do is we'll take off south and then fly our way over to the moon. To Marby, and then head on. Does that sound about right? Hang on. All right, yeah, to Marby, and then on our way down. Okay, cool. All right, I just wanted to verify with maps. Oh, there's more thunderstorms starting to show, so we may kind of have to wiggle our way through here. We'll see. All right, so we're set there. Just getting the backup one just in case we have issues. And get a good warm up. There we go. Why is this one aimed differently? Do not know. All right. And that one's set. Now, we need to get our heading set in here. So, we're taking off on 180. So what I'm going to do is click and go to 180. Basically, I'm using it as a way to geographically locate and then go over to it. Okay. Course. Now we are going to have to set in Harrison and Fort Smith. I think we can pick up Fort Smith in altitude, but for the time being, let's make sure we have both. But we're going to need a 219 course. And then our inbound should be very close to that, and it is not. So that means we're going to be adjusting along the way. All right, so we're set here. We set our altitude. Hang on, folks. All right, altitude is gonna be 55. No, 65. Unless we have to come down for weather. All right. And you can see it's set there, and our altimeter here is 2996. Okay, we're ready to go, folks. Bear with me. Let me get my little taxi chart out. All right, so we're gonna hang a left and then okay, this could get loud, folks, so bear with me. I'm adjusting right now for outside. So basically, we're going to taxi out, head to the right, take a left, take a right. Here we go. Taxi light on. Nobody in the fuel pit, but we'll still avoid it. Okay, we're on Harrison Common Traffic, so Harrison Common Traffic, November 8229 Papa, taxiing to runway 18, Piper Arrow. Okay, we did need to set that frequency real quick off of Harrison, 112.5. Fort Smith, is it 110.4? 110.4. 110.4. Okay, we are radio set now. All right, we had just to get our radio set. So folks, we're ready to go flying. I hope you are too. We're at KHRO if you want to join in. We're planning a VFR flight. We're going to fly direct to the Fort Smith VOR, then head south to Mena. But a challenge out there if you want to get a little history course. That's your call, but we're off terminal. What? There's a terminal here? I'll be doggone, sure is. We'll get down here and do a quick run-up. Let y'all get caught up, and we'll be ready to go, folks. Hope y'all are ready for this. GA Sunday. Last Sunday, we flew to Winnipeg. in the Citation 10, little business jet, but we're gonna do a little, we're gonna have a little fun here with a couple next few flights that I do with the Arrow. One, because I'm having some troubles coming up with destinations for the airliners to hit, although I'm working that out. But there's been some things I've seen in my travels in the United States that I think we could hit with the Arrow. Namely, hot springs for hot springs, known for it. Bottled it actually and sent it across the country via the railroads back in the day. And then we might try heading to another place known for its minerals. I'll let you all do a little research. We'll pop that on you when we're ready to try it. Be a little longer cross country with this plane. But hope y'all enjoy. This ought to be a fun flight. And get down here to the end. We'll do our run up and get ready to go. And again, the reason the X-Pilot is up there is if we do somehow get ATC and we decide to do flight following, or, God forbid, go to IFR. Because of weather, you'll be able to hear it. But for now, we plan to go VFR. All right, we're at the end of the runway. Let's find our way into a position to do a quick run up. Well, not quick, we're gonna do it properly. One little thing about X-Plane that kind of wish the Mr. Austin would look into, taxiway lights are really tall and disproportionate to the airport. They've been that way, I think, throughout most of X-Plane 12. So, but anyway, all right, so let me get her back up here. Let me hit continue. All right, let's get perfect. Put her at 1,000. Let her purr up here. Okay, here's what we're doing. Warm-up time. Okay, so we've done our warm-up. We've done our taxi. Parking, set the brakes. Props are full. Go to 2,000 on the RPMs. Check the magnetos first. Then check our vacuum gauge. That one I'm not 100% sure. Remember where it's at. I'll have to look for it. Oil temperatures, pressures check. Ammeter check. We'll press to test. Prop. We'll exercise. Basically, what we're doing with that, folks, well, we'll kind of explain it when we do it. And then we'll do the alternate air check. And then pull it all back. So, fuel pump on for all of this. And what I'm going to try to do, folks, it didn't work out well the last time. Going to try to run with the checklist up on my other screen. It didn't work that well last time, so we'll see if it does this time. Could have also been because we were in icing, everything else was not going well, and that was just a byproduct. Who knows? So here, who would have thought in the middle of May we were in icing in St. Louis at 3,000 feet? Who'd have thought that one, folks? 2,000 RPM coming up. By the way, folks, if you did this and you didn't have the parking brake set, your plane would be on the runway right now. Okay, we're up. Okay, so what are magnetos? Magnetos are these electronic gizmos. No, they're what your aircraft uses to keep running. Say you lose your alternator, the magneto should still keep it running. Put that in big air quotes. Everything is should in an airplane. So we check to make sure they're working, and what we check, We can do it a couple of ways. We're looking for a drop, no more than 175 RPM per mag. However, add on top of that, they can't be 50 RPMs different. So hypothetically, if I go to the left mag and it drops, say, to 1900, okay, and we come back to both, and then I go to right and it drops to 1800, technically we're within the 175 as you see here, but we're plus or minus 50 difference problem. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Okay, we're looking good. All right, so now we're going to check the vacuum. I don't see it on this gauge here, so it's got to be, here it is, right here, looking in the green. Good. Oil pressure. Now you can monitor it here. I really wish this would blow up a little more. So oil pressures, temperatures, fuel gallons per hour all look good. Plus you can look at the needles. Cylinder heads are looking good. Temp and pressure. Okay. Annunciator check. All looks good. What else we got? Okay, now the famous prop check. What you're doing here, folks, you are checking that the blades will technically go to feather, but what you're really doing is just getting that oil in there, making sure they'll move like they're supposed to. Sometimes I've never had to move the lever so much as I do in X-plane. All right, and with that, oh, alternate air. Otherwise known as carburetor heat, folks. Looking good. Throttle back. Okay, fuel pressure check when we bring her down. Bringing her to idle or not? You used to bring it to idle and do another mag check where you turned it off and back on real quick to make sure it would come back on. Like I said, it's been a long time, folks. Okay, fuel pump off. Fuel pump on. Don't know if that's significant enough or not. I'm going to bring the throttle up to 1,000. All right, let's go to the takeoff checks. Okay, master switch on. Always make sure, folks, it's a it's got two switches in there, so make sure both are in. Okay, flight instruments, make sure you're set and ready to go. They look good. By the way, I learned this. I did a subsequent flight earlier this week. You can set this to a different looking gauge if you so choose. I don't know why you'd want this one. Inquiring minds would like to know if you all know why you would want it in this way. This is what I'm used to. By the way, I never had this, nor these. Oh, do need to get this up and running. All right. And electric fuel pump on, engine gauges, alternate air closed, seat back set, mixture full, prop set, empty, flap set, trim set, forward, takeoff, yes, and controls. Let's get them back here real quick. You're doing this just to make sure nobody put an exterior gust lock on that you didn't catch, because you were supposed to do a walk around. Let's go. Doors closed, air conditioner. I don't think we have such an animal on this one. Doesn't look like it. All right, let's get going. Harrison, traffic, Boone County, traffic, November 8229, Papa Type Arrow, departing runway 18, VFR. Here we go. Okay, everything's set. Here we go. Again, you're all welcome to join us. Nice little short. Just tell me that's not bad weather right there. Okay, good. Thunderstorms I really don't want to fly into in this. But again, you're all are welcome. And again, the normal call sign, folks, that would be easier for you to remember is right here. I'm just going by my VUSA one. In case there's people out there that want to tag along. All right, here we go, folks. Takeoff, normal technique, flaps trim, 67 or 65 to 75s when we'll call rotate and climb to altitude. Best rate of climb is 90 knots. I'm sorry. Oh, gear down, best rate 78, gear up 90, best angle, gear up 78, gear down 72. En route climb, that'll be above 2,000 feet. Try to get up to 104. And once you're at your altitude, electric pump off. Here we go. And yes, folks, the pulling to the left is normal. That's called P factor and torque. Airspeed's alive. Problem is, it's really exaggerated. Trying to control it with the feet here. 65, 70, here we go. Take it to the air. Gear up because we can't make the runway if we had to recycle them. It's a little different than an airliner. As soon as you're airborne, gear up. Here, we keep it down just in case that big motor up front decides to go kapoo and we gotta land. Cycling the gear can be rough. Okay, we're aiming for best rate, which gear up is 90 knots. All right, now let's go ahead, get the flaps in. That'll help a little. Nice, gentle, easy turn over here. We'll go 270, just easy does it. Welcome to the Ozarks, folks. All right, let's get her wound up and 90 knots in the climb. Right now, I am going to begin not trimming, but power setting this. All right, we're en route climb now, so we're gonna nose it just a couple clicks on the trim to try to get a little bit over 100. Yeah, you're not going to get 1,500, 2,000 feet a minute out of these planes, guys. You're going to only get about 200 to 300 feet in the summer. Might get 700 or 800 feet out of it in the winter. Might, most likely not. And we're on our way towards Fort Smith, and yeah, I'm starting to see that uckiness ahead of us. Through 3,000. By the way, folks, I'm still hand flying it. Looking to intercept our 219 radial off of Harrison to head to Fort Smith. Now, I could flip-flop it and go direct Fort Smith. Now, it seems a little noisy to you, right? Hang on a second here, folks. The rudder is always tricky on these. What vFlyte and Thronda did, hang on, you can put the headphones on to make that quieter. We'll do that here once we get on course. I'm going to flip the autopilot on here. Get us a nice standard rate turn. Gosh, dang it. All right, so that's going to put us on course towards Marby, and we're on our way. Now, all right, so we're holding about 100 knots. We're working our way back on course. It should intercept here. I'm going to make sure we get on course. Now I'm a little nervous because we have not turned on course. Oh, that would explain a whole lot of things. The AP kicked off. All right, so let's see if we turn on course this time. Looks like we are. All right, because I can see we're banking ever so slightly, but yet we're working our way there. CDI is starting to true up. Okay. All right, folks, we're on our way. So for the fun of it, let's just, like any other flight, put it up there for you. Estimating 1 hour. We're just about to 6,500 feet, folks. Got about 2,000 to go. We're outside the airport now, so landing light, taxi light off, heat on. And there you go, folks. Nice little comfortable flight to Mena, Arkansas. Now, we were talking about the headsets. See, when they're in, it gets really quiet. Now, if I was to go outside the plane, I would protect my ears because it's going to be loud. Now it's quiet. But anyway, folks, it's a neat feature. Thronda has it on the Caravan. Love it, love it, love it. So, great airplane, I think, overall. Little things here and there I would like to see, but Deal breaker to me? Techno. All right. Let's get up here on Unicom just in case somebody wants to chitty chat with us, which they're not supposed to, but it happens. And then once we level off, we'll put her a little better. I'm going to go ahead and bring us up a little bit on the Manny pressure. I try to keep them pretty close while I'm climbing. Now, the higher you go, folks, this gets a bit more challenging because the manifold is going to start pulling back. We're not turbocharged. So about 6,500 feet's a good cruise altitude if you want to just cruise VOR to VOR to VOR to VOR. But if you want to fly dead reckoning, the lower to the ground, the better. There you have it, folks. We're on our way to Mena via Portsmouth. And all of this out here, folks, that is what we're staring down. All right, folks, those tuning in, we are in the Ozarks of Arkansas, Missouri, working our way over to Mena. Fort Smith kind of is the western edge. Hot Springs and Little Rock, the eastern edge. Wedged up to Branson, Springfield kind of wedges the Ozarks. The actual mountain range. The rest are just a bunch of boot hill foothills that surround it, and it's fun out here. I mean, I like to fly the Herc. There's a couple of big military operating areas out here. Do some airdropping and all over by Fort Smith. But some fun flying out here. All right, so now we're starting to get those clouds we were worried about. Let's see where they are. Coming up on 6,000 feet. All right, folks, we're back with you. And we got about 54 minutes to get over to Mena. Currently, hang on a second. $15.10. Okay, we're currently 50 miles out of Fort Smith. We're going to turn the fuel pump off. We're about to get into cruise here, so let's set. All right, I'm going to set my mixture now. If I remember right, we go to the peak. And then back it off a little. Okay. That's if I remembered this right, folks. And then we're going to watch our fuel. About every 5 gallons, I'm going to switch tanks, help us stay laterally balanced. You know, it's your call. That's, if I remember right, it's how I did it back in the 80s. It's been a long time, folks. All right, and we're on our way. I've got her on GPS right now, folks. You know what? Let's see. See how she does. But again, folks, welcome aboard. We are on a GA flight today. We're flying the Piper ArrowIII from vFlyteAir. Great airplane, folks. We've flown it a couple times on stream. Iced up about a month and a half ago. Pretty heavily coming out of St. Louis for well, we were trying to make Harrison, and we had to put in at Cuba because of running into icing in late April, early May. Go figure that one at 25 to 3,000 feet. So for those at X-Plane that want to know, yes, it worked. All right, so folks, kick back, relax, enjoy. We got a nice little flight ahead of us. About 45 minutes to go, and if I do this right, we're going to fly pretty much VFR all the way in. Now, we do have a little bit of storm activity ahead of us, so I keep kind of bouncing to look at it. Right now, it's not looking too nasty. And we'll be descending, by the way, to 5,500 feet at Fort Smith. Let me bring in charts here, let you all get a look here. All right, so here we are, folks. Coming down towards Fort Smith. Then we're going to head to BATEZ. And at that point, we determine, are we going to come in instrument or not? Let's see what the weather looks like. Yeah, see, it's that little nasty cell right there, hopefully out of our way by the time we get there. Otherwise, I am going to do a complete turn here and kind of go around it. Kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to pull it up on the map here and just see. I don't know if we're within range. I think we are. And then the main complex I'm worried about, that's getting there quick. So we'll just kind of see how we're going. Let's bring in the X-plane charts. Okay, here's us. And there's that cell, folks. See it right there on the edge of the map? So really, I think we're okay. So we'll continue to Fort Smith. Who knows? Maybe we'll draw bearing up and head for it. And look at all this lovely VATSIM traffic around us. Something's over by Hot Springs. Let's take a look. Oh, that's Little Rock. My bad, Little Rock. Definitely showing a lot. Oh, there we go. So yeah. Oh, that's just. So for now, we're not planning an instrument arrival or practice. We are going to switch fuel tanks now, which is by the left knee. I just killed my engine. I did. Son of a gun. Oh, it's on off. That's why. There it comes back. Okay, I'm just making sure pressure's good, cylinders are good. All right. I'll turn the volume up a little bit here. This is what it sounds like in the cockpit without the earmuffs on. And with the earmuffs. All right, folks, we are 30 miles out and a big scary cloud right in front of us. All right, what's Fort Smith's altimeter? $2987. All right, so as we get closer here, we're tracking direct to Fort Smith. Okay, we got about 24 miles to go. I'm sorry, correction, change that. 17, little over 30 miles, or 27, okay. Now, I posed a question at the beginning of the stream. I'm gonna let it. We've been running now a little over an hour and a half. I'm gonna repose it and see if anyone new who has joined might know. Mena, Arkansas should hopefully would spark controversy in your mind. Plus, a movie was made about it a couple of years ago. Won't say who starred in it because it may give it right away. But Mena, Arkansas was the focal point. Well, look at that. We're getting radar returns on here. How are we getting radar returns without a radar on the plane? Interesting. Well, if that's the case, do this real quick. Yeah, we definitely have echoes right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop to 4,500. Wow, all of this GPS technology now available, folks. Wow. Because there is no radar equipment on this aircraft. The way you would know, one of the wingtips normally put over here would be a bulb, but they don't do that on arrows. Oh, nice. We're getting into a thunderstorm. Yay. Believe it or not, folks, so long as this isn't a very heavy thunderstorm, now granted you shouldn't fly in thunderstorms, but I've got visibility more than my 5 miles. I've got separation from the base of the clouds. Technically, it can rain on me, folks. Make it larger, though it doesn't show up. That's interesting. All right, let's just get through it, get to the south, and hope we can keep things in a good perspective here. All right, we're just cooking right through. This is not too bad. We're still VFR, folks. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead, turn a little early, kind of stay out of the airport there, stay out of all of class uh, Bravo and all, and head on down, staying VFR. As much as I'd like to climb up to 5,500, I'm going to have to drop to 35, I think. Just because 5,500 is going to put us real close to those. We got to keep 1,000 feet above us. We should hopefully see the end of all of this. Actually, we're tracking doggone close to it. Now we got about kind of looking for my needles. That was an awesome lightning bolt. Yeah, got a little bit of weather out of this, folks. And we're starting to get on our airway here. 168 will take us down to our, is it Beers, I think it's called? BATEZ. Get her into Mena here quick, and then call it, and grab a bite to eat. So, and kick it over just a little bit. And the reason Memphis is not calling us is because we're VFR. Now, if we needed flight following, we would have that option. But we don't. We're just working our way over to grab the V289 again and fly on down to Mena. Excuse me. Oh, and that leading edge is getting ever so close. Still clear, 27 degrees, and pressure 2992. Anything close by I can use? How about? That's close enough. What are you at? 2989. Okay. About to pull out of this cell here. Got some mountains up ahead of us. Let me pull up the section off. And where's Mena? All right, so yeah, we'll fly over this ridge here. And then as we come through it, we'll see Mena. All right, folks, so welcome as we've flown through a pretty good thunderstorm here. Actually, looks really scary here, but when you do that, it goes away. Really scary looking. Well, we'll give it a little bit, and then we can climb on up to, well, All right, folks, we're making the turn now to get on course. All right, and let's see where we're at. Okay, so BATEZ is coming up. Let's take a look here. What kind of an approach do we have? Oh, we have an ILS for 27. Wow. And an RNAV. You know what? I really don't know what an ILS will look like in here. Let's give it a try. What the heck? We'll do this. We're going to come in off J-Bone. And 27. All right, so 27, by the way, folks, is 5,400 feet. So off BATEZ. Let's try procedure. Enter. 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 Load. All right, so at BATEZ, we're going to turn to J-Bone, and let's see here. Reading my information. 40. Whoa. Can't go below 4,500 feet, so it looks like, folks, we begin a climb. All right, we're going to start a pretty quick climb, get 1,000 feet under our wings. Reason being, it is the terrain, folks. Why? Heflin to the east, or 4,500 feet. J-Bone north and west is 4,500 feet. So that's why. It's the terrain in the area. So we're going to go ahead and grab some sky here. And then we're going to go ahead and fly this. What the heck? Okay, ILS frequency 108.7. To be honest, I've never flown in this plane. This ought to be fun. Don't want to change it yet. Once we make the turn to J-Bone, then we'll dial it in. All right, so from J-Bone to Heflin is 4,500 feet. Then we descend down to 3,000 by Ellis and then in on the runway. And folks, we're back out into severe clear. How about that? Welcome. Now, folks, this is where some of the storm chasers start talking about when you get up to the Mississippi River, they can't really see. There's a lot of trees and stuff in the way. Well, there's a lot of trees in Arkansas. So, but Oklahoma, there's not many, so they can actually chase pretty and see what they're chasing. And there's that storm front, folks, coming for us from Oklahoma. And then the one we just went by, it doesn't look all that bad now, does it? Actually, it didn't feel like it was, so. All right, let's get a little bit this way. BATEZ is coming up. And we'll be soon going into Mena, Arkansas. Looks like it's kind of, it's in high terrain. I don't, airport sits 1,000 feet above sea level, 5,500-foot runway, 122.8. We're going to verify. Oh, Memphis Center went down. $122.8 is there, so we'll be staying on Unicom. Hope people say, why aren't you on common traffic? I am. All right, so here we go, folks. BATEZ is coming up. Got about, we ought to be over it here in about 5 miles or so. We still need to kick a little bit to the left, to the right. Let's go ahead, fly south. I'm thinking Mena's like right in here, folks. Possibly on the other side of that ridge. Maybe not. We'll see. Boy, it's getting close, folks. And for now, I am going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and tie down here. We'll look to fly from here to Hot Springs, possibly Bierce, which is odd. It's a neat little airport, folks. I can say that. I've actually been to it, driven around it. Really neat little airport around by Mount Ida. My daughter actually lived across 270, US 270, where Lake, I am not about to try to play, Cheetah. Anyway, it's one of the bigger lakes in Arkansas, and it's just like a little pond they had, but a couple blocks down, you had 270, and then the airport on the other side. I like flying into it. It's a little challenge. It's a 75-foot wide runway, 4,000 feet long, so it is a little fun. So, like I said, we're going to tackle it. We'll see when, but I'm going to put it into the schedule to hit so that we can have some fun with these little airports. Because this one I've always had a little problems with. I think part of it's scenery, where the trees aren't placed right. I mean, how are you going to place trees right, folks? So we'll give it our best here. We're about to come on to Beers, and that will be, is the heading. All right, and it's just like I said, neat. Hot Springs, well, you all know what it's known for. Hot Springs, people would come in for the refreshment of the hot springs. They had a whole bunch of them around there. And some of them were of a medicinal purpose, so they would bottle it, and the railroad would then haul it throughout the country. And big, people able to would funnel into Hot Springs for the springs on their business cars on the end of trains. Remember, trains weren't too long ago, folks, the big mode of travel. We're only talking about 60, 70 years ago when they were the king. Then this thing called the airplane came along, airliners. So now Europe, they'll say they still are pretty affluent, and that's because they're also a lot faster than ours. But everyone loves to say, well, why can't we do that? Well, when you look at France and you look at Germany, folks, they're not 3,000 miles coast to coast, border to border. So big difference when you start. You're almost apples to oranges. They're more like tangerines to oranges. It's close, but they're much smaller. All right, let's do it. I'm going to activate the approach so I can just get a semblance of the heading. Let's go for it. All right, folks, we are headed to J-Bone. I think we have it pretty close. Oh, EGD. Didn't see that. GO, where is that at? Ah, over here, Rich Mountain. Okay. Not totally usable, but could have been. A little bit more. Like, no. All right, so we're now headed to J-Bone. I'm going to push that up. Inbound heading on this ILS is 269. All right, let's take a look here, folks. How we doing? Doing great. All right. Can we see the storms? Yeah, we still can. Kind of see what's coming if they don't look nice. And we can get a sense of the hills here. These are considered mountains, folks. I've been on some of these in a truck, and I'm here to tell you, whew, they are some hairpin turns here. Which, when you see a sign, so many people died at this spot this year. That tells you just how tight, and it's trucks. I mean, trucks are running this. I've clipped mirrors on it, folks. It's been that tight with the other truck. And, ooh, it's a challenge, but they've actually put an interstate through a lot of it to at least Fort Smith to take out a lot of that. But boy, headed on down to Texarkana, ooh, still kind of fun. All right, I am not liking what I'm seeing on my gauges. Just gonna tell you, folks, I don't like it. Again, 1087. Okay. Hoping it's because I'm the opposite way. I would have hoped to have seen the needle, but I guess not. Part of me wonders if that's not 270 right there and we could follow that out to Beers Airport. Or not, wherever we're coming around for the landing, folks. Weather, just need to get it on the ground. Now, by the time you do get to Hot Springs, folks, you are pretty much out of the part of the Ozarks. You know, it's, if anything, more foothillish like. But, boy, you can see they really do give drivers some fun. All right, we're in the area. Let's fuel pumps on, landing light on, taxi light on. Totally honest, think it's just a bright light as a landing light. Taxi light's in the same spot. All right, so when we come over J-Bone, it is 179. So I'm going to set that. No, I'm not. I forgot I'm not on a VOR. Okay, so we'll set 179 for the heading. And maintain 4,500 feet. And then we'll call inbound from the initial approach fix. All right, what I am going to do is start doing some of my other checks. Okay, approach checklist fuel selector. Let's go ahead, put it on the fuller tank. Get the props forward. And belts mixture gear we'll check when we hit. So we're about ready. J-Bone. Mena traffic, Piper 8, November 8229, Papa over the initial approach fix for runway 27. J-Bone. Okay, hopefully we start seeing signs of an ILS here. Because I'm sure not. Not on GPS. I am very leery of this. Very leery of this. I don't see the localizer. All right, folks. Well, unless Mena, this isn't programmed in. Aha, there it is. I don't know if what I just did it. I don't know. All right, folks, we are turning for the ILS. We're about to start turning inbound. That's kind of scary, folks. Maybe because it's a VFR pilot here, not an IFR pilot. Okay. I am going to go ahead and make my 45. I'm going to start turning on it. Right there. Okay, looks like we're going to need our sunglasses, folks. Okay, I'm going to start my descent to 3,000. Still hoping for the best here, folks. I'm not seeing any sign, and I've got a sun right in my eyes. I'll tell you one thing I've also been wanting to try out, and I may just go to an airport here one day and try out pilot controlled lighting. Okay, how far off are we? I actually have glide slope and localizer. I looked for it down there. I sure didn't see it. All right, when we get to Ellis, we got to get this plane, begin to get it really set up. We're only 4.5 miles out, right? 7 miles out, so we got plenty of room. Hey, we're on course. 3,000, we got to be on glide slope. Okay, mixture prop full. Gear down, first notch. Up, I got a runway, folks. Okay, now I know where the runway is. There's the Pappies. Right distance. Don't have. Right. And Mena traffic. Hyper November 8229 Papa, approximately 5-mile final, 27 on the ILS. This wind all of a sudden come from? We getting blown by P factor. Second notch. Laps full gear 3, maybe 3 green. Bear with me. Yes. 3 green. All right, folks. Gump complete. Mixture prop gear all set. Undercarriage. Gas mixture. Let's see. Gas undercarriage mixture prop. All right, folks, here we go. Glad y'all could be with us today. It's been a fun little flight. We are, like I said, gonna call it here. We've got a little bit of a taxi to the ramp, and we'll go through some of what I was seeing, if any of you news. Nina used to be in the news back in the 90s, so. Little long on this. Welcome to Mena. I'd like to make this a little easier on taxi. Yeah, we'll just eat up the whole runway. Laps up. All right, yeah, nothing like a 5,000-foot roll off, folks. All right, welcome in, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little jaunt from Harrison, Arkansas over to Mena. All right, while we're taxiing, folks, we'll go through it. Real quick, where Mena got its claim to fame, and I hate to say it, folks, even a movie produced um, about another president who was back then governor, and a lot of interesting things going on in Mena. Mena's a little one-horse town, folks. I mean, it was teeny. This airport, probably the biggest thing the town, most land the town had. But by the time this little thing the movie covered, we'll get the movie in a second, many banks popped up here. Ask why? Well, there was this little thing called, well, there was a movie called American Made with Tom Cruise starring in it. Not gonna say the veracity of the movie, true or false. I just know a lot of allegations came out of this airport, this town, for drug running, arms running, a lot of stuff. They started in, they were flying basically general aviation aircraft because Coast Guard was flying Falcons at the time. Until the Coast Guard and Customs decided to fly King Airs and could slow down to their speed. Then things got really ugly. So, but anyway, folks, check it out. I'm not going to do it any justice here. We're going to stick out of politics, but it's a little thing in history. Caused the president to go through an impeachment hearing because he kept it on something else, kept his butt out of impeachment for the shenanigans in Mena. Again, the allegations in the movie, I couldn't tell you. I drove through this town a couple times. Folks, it's a teeny town. I hate to break it to you, it's really small. But compliments of Tom Cruise's character, if all is to be believed, town saw quite a bit of money all of a sudden. All right, we're on the ground, folks. Let me do my thing here. Get her back up to 1,000. All right, landing lights off, to beacon on, taxi light off, pitot heat off. All right, let's do this to standby. Let's just put this in the middle and get rid of these things again. Oh, wow, we can turn these off. That's awesome. We can't get these, so where's the power button? Anyway, so there you have it, folks. I can't get these to turn off. I can turn this off. Let's go through it. I'm going to bring up the checklist. I'll just do it from here. Oh, they don't go through it. Oh, here we go. Stopping engine, flaps up. Oh, by the way, folks, you're wondering where's the flap gauge and how do you know what you're set? Because I flew this plane. Right here's your flaps, folks. It's just a manual lever. Literally, when you hear me call one notch, two notches, three notches, that's old habit, folks. One notch, whoops, one notch, two notch, three notch. Sorry. I enjoy this plane so much, folks. Hang on. What else is down here? See if I know I have something. Is that the emergency gear? It is the and what it does, I'll tell you. Okay, that is. It's like I said, it's been a long time since I've physically trained to fly this plane. Um, when you pull that, folks, it just releases hydraulic pressure and they free fall. And you just wiggle the plane to lock them in. That's all there is to it, unless something major is going on. That's it. So, all right. So let's get into it here. Electric pump off. Okay, we'll get back down to 1,000. I couldn't hear it. That's why. Avionics switch off. That's this one. Uh, Throttle closed. Props full. Mixture idle cutoff. Magnetos to off. That's a, oh my gosh, that's a keychain. Oh, jeez. Alternator and battery. Come in, folks. Now, you could use that little Piper thing over there, or this is actually the proper way to open it. There you go, folks. Welcome to Hot Springs. How about um, good old little um, Mena, Arkansas. All right, and that'll do it, folks, for today. I want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike. Been my pleasure taking to the skies like always. Let's do a and thank each and every one of you for being a part here. Uh, we will try to be up tomorrow. I got a lot going on, so I really haven't had time to put the schedule up, but I will here later tonight as I figure out exactly how I'm going to line things up. So for now, folks, from Mena, Arkansas, ahead of some nasty thunderstorms headed this way. Y'all have a great night. God bless you all. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow.